Hi, how are you? It's Traviseen here, and welcome back to our adventures in Azeroth. Today, we got into a dungeon, guys.
Blood and thunder.
Damn it. Let me turn these quests in. Pick them up. I think they can deal with that part. Got a bunch of quests today. Is that guy gonna die? I hope not. Good, he did. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm doing pretty good. We are in Hellfire Ramparts. It's the first dungeon that we'll be doing in TBC. I'm looking forward to doing them all. And we have a bunch of quests to do as well. And a big surprise happened today, guys. For the Classic Fresh servers. We got some changes. You're supposedly not going to have any changes at all, but it looks like they changed their mind. And we are getting a few changes, and those changes are instant mail transfer. So your mail will be instantly transferred, which I think is pretty good. I like it. You don't have to wait a while to get, your mail that you sent to your alts. I think that's great. Really happy about that. That's like the quality of life change that I think is really good. Doesn't affect gameplay at all. Just is something that's convenient. And another change is there is no more debuff or buff limit. Now that is a huge change. And that's actually going to change the game quite a bit. So if you guys didn't know, Classic WoW had a buff limit of 32 buffs on your character and 16 debuffs on, and like bosses or creatures that you're attacking, right? And that was a big part of the game. This is going to create a bit of division, I think, in the Classic WoW community. I think some people are going to think this really sucks, and some people are going to enjoy it. There's negatives and positives for both. One of the main positives is classes like Warlock and Shadow Priest get to actually, put up all their debuffs and dots and all that stuff. I think Shadow Priests are actually going to be able to, Mind Flay now and use Shadow Word Pain. So I think they're all happy about that. But it doesn't really change the game that much, because Warriors will still be, the top end best DPS in the game. And it'll just make Shadow Priests and Warlocks a little bit stronger. The thing is, stuff will die even faster now. So you could arguably say that the raids are going to be easier than they were back in 2019, 2020. So you'll hear a lot of that. Probably from like people that don't like these changes. And you also hear that people saying that this game is just not going to be like vanilla. Which I disagree with. It'll still be vanilla, but it won't be the same as it was in 2019, 2020. I'm interested to see what it's going to be like. Because I main tanked throughout all of vanilla. I did all the raids. The Molten Cord and Max Ramus as a main tank. I played Warrior. And this would change a lot for me as a warrior. There's a bunch of like small buffs that I can get that give me like, you know, 5 to 10 stam that I normally wouldn't use in raid that I could just stack now. Which makes me like even stronger than I already was. Like harder to kill, right? And I see like a lot of tanks will probably be purchasing that stuff. And I think they'll feel like they kind of have to. Like I would feel like I had to purchase it and farm all of these items so that you know, say I died, I couldn't be like, oh yeah, it was my bad. I didn't get this like gift of Arthas consumable. You could also stack like all the elixirs now. The fortitude elixir. You would always use like the armor one, but you pretty much stack every elixir now. Sometimes I wouldn't use the fortitude one, but now you would usually 100% use the fortitude elixir. And I think even like DPS will probably be stacking this stuff too. So, yeah, a lot more stuff will be sold on the auction house. I think it'll be interesting. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Get me alive! So yeah, it's going to be a different game, but I'm still interested in playing it. Like I'm not completely hating on it and saying like this isn't vanilla. I'm not playing this crap. like I've heard from some people, but it is going to be different. That's for sure. And another changes that I like is dual spec. We're now getting dual spec in the game now. Now the positives of that are you don't have to, you know, always spend a bunch of gold to change your spec. That's something I hated in vanilla. I would never change, like rarely ever change to a PvP spec. Because it would cost me like, you know, 50 gold to change my spec for like 1 to 2 days, and then I'd have to switch back to my tanking raid spec. And that's just too much gold. It was too much gold for me as a warrior until I got a mage to farm gold. I just couldn't make enough gold to be able to change my spec that often. So dual spec will allow players to have, you know, like a PvP spec or second spec that they can play while they're not in raid, and it doesn't cost them anything. And I think that's a good thing. Now the downside to it is that it changes the rating up quite a bit. Because you're probably going to be able to change. Let's see what dropped here. Bloodstained Ravager gauntlets, 304 armor, 13 agility, 30 stamina, 2 red sockets, and 13 crit. Yeah, not bad. I'm just gonna stick with our plate. It's more for a hunter. But yeah, what was I saying? So dual spec is going to change rating up quite a bit. So like, say if you're a mage, especially if you're like a DPS, if you're a mage, there's some bosses where you want to be fire and some bosses where you want to be frost. So say like a boss has fire resist, like Veil Stress, for example, and BWL. BWL is a bunch of bosses that have fire resist. I think Nefarian does as well. As a mage, you're going to be switching spec during the raid like multiple times. So if a boss has fire resist up, you're going to switch to frost spec. If a boss doesn't have fire resist, he'll just use fire.
Soon your people
So this
will
this
kneel
makes
to my
mages stronger, full spec. As long as you're able to,
You are nothing.
you know, change specs during raid, which I believe you will be able to.
My lord will be the end.
So we'll see what happens with that. I think that'll be kind of fun. It changes things up. But classic purists probably hate that. Because it does make it a completely different game than it was in 2019. Witching Band Finger dropped 28 stamina, 18 intellect. And Kilt of Rolling Thunder. 42 stamina, 14 intellect, 18 spirit, 426 armor. It's nice for shaman. Not for us. Is there anything else we needed to do here? Did we get all the quests done? I think we did. Alright, so let's go turn these in, guys. Yeah, quite a bit of changes. Not too sure what to think about it. I'm still going to play. It's positive for me because, like, I don't know, I'm not going to be that hardcore of a player this time around, I don't think. I wasn't really hard. I would say I was pretty hardcore then. Like, I always had world buffs. I played a lot. More than I think I will this time around. There's also, like, running, helping run a guild, recruiting people. Like, I'm not gonna be playing like that this time. So yeah, let's see what dropped here. Jade Warrior Pauldrons, 513 armor, 20 strength, 19 agility, and 28 stamina. Pretty nice shoulders. We're gonna put those on.
For the Horde.
Let's see what else we got here.
Victory.
Were you able to dispose of the foul creature?
Farewell.
Well done. We need the time you bought us to investigate the link between the Fell Orcs and the Burning Legion. You very well may have saved hundreds of lives through your actions.
Tabu. Farewell.
How many piles were you able to take?
Victory.
Well done. The long-term effects of this attack will be far worse than slaying a few orcs could ever be.
Strength.
So there we go. We just got a bunch of XP for that. That is awesome. I guess we'll just head back out into the world and we'll queue up again. Why not? Do some quests. That was a pretty good group. They were, yeah, they're a pretty clean run.
State your business.
My people recently finished building Falcon Watch, a base of operations in the southwestern region of Hellfire Peninsula, beyond Hellfire Citadel. You're welcome there as an ally, Pexelgix. If you're looking for work, go there and tell Ranger Captain Venrin that I sent you. He will see to it that you're given tasks worthy of someone of your caliber. Okay. So there we go. We got a bunch of quests here now. Let's queue up for another dungeon. Yeah, back to what I was saying, guys. It's not going to be the same version of Classic, but I guess you could call it, I don't know, Classic Light. It's more chill, I guess you could say. So if you're a Classic purist, you're not going to like it. But if you're a person that's kind of going on their second run through the game like I am, and you don't really mind quality of life changes, and you're not that like hardcore of a player, you're not in the like the speedrun community or anything, then you probably won't mind it that much. I think most of these changes are actually alright. And kind of interesting, because you'll get to see what the game's like without the 32 buff limit and the 16 debuff limit. That's actually going to be kind of interesting to see what the game is like. I hated the debuff, the buff limit as a tank, because the healers in my guild would mistakenly push buffs off of me during the raid. So say I had like say this is like a world buff, you can get Battle Shout. I heal, and I have 32 buffs, 30 buffs up, or 30. I'd usually have like a few buff spots up or left, just so like the healers can put hots up and stuff like that. And sometimes healers would pre-hot me for like a boss that's going to hit pretty damn hard. And too many of them would do it, and I'd get like too many buffs. And it would push off like a world buff that I went out and got. That gives me like a huge amount of, you know, attack power and critical strike rating. And that would really suck, because that nerfs my damage by quite a bit. And which in turn nerfs my threat, which means the DPS in our guild can't, you know, do as much damage. So it kind of nerfs the entire raid when that happens. The corpse matches the description of Kroon Spinebreaker, Hellfire Citadel's assassin. As you turn the body over, you notice a stone axe protruding from his back. You pull the stone axe out of the body to examine it more closely. There's something unusual about the craftsmanship of the weapon. Its origin appears orcish, though the materials aren't like anything you've seen before. Nazrael might be interested in seeing the weapon. Once we got that weapon, I'm not going to capture any of that. Should we head back and just show the weapon? I guess we'll do that. So yeah, like your buffs get pushed off. Say you bought like a mongoose pot and you paid like, I don't know, 10 to 15 gold for it. Sometimes that would get pushed off, and then you'd have to like drink another one, and that would always suck. So even as a healer, you would always kind of be aware and organized with your healer team to make sure you don't put too many buffs up on your main tank or on one of the tanks, so that you don't push off their buffs. Now, some people would consider that to be annoying. I agree, it is annoying. So that's why removing the buff limit is cool. Yes, it may make the raids a little bit easier, but it also makes them a little less annoying, unless you enjoy playing around the intricacies of having a 32 buff cap, which some people do enjoy, because it is something that is not in any other version of WoW, and it's kind of like a vanilla only thing. So if you're a vanilla purist, you're not going to like that change. Tell me, is the assassin dead? He was killed by this weapon. It can't be. Have we found them?
Strength.
As you know, the war chief put his power behind the expedition for one reason. This is the world we came from. This is where our roots lie. This journey means different things to orcs and blood elves. To them, it's a search for the promised land. To us, it's more like returning home. Whoever made this axe is familiar with the old ways, and we must contact them. This is too important for us to use ordinary tracking methods. Show the weapon to Farseer Regelcut. She will know what to do.
Forth to victory.
All right, let's go bring that out, and we'll show this to Regelcut, the Farseer.
You wish to speak? Walk.
Tell me what you seek, so that I may help you find
May
it.
the eternal
I understand
sun shine
Nazgrel's
upon
request, warriors. Say no
you.
more.
Farewell.
Even our best tracking wolves' senses can fail them, Paxlogix. The spirits have a way of seeing the world differently than ours. The being you will call forth will find the person you seek, for they'll be drawn not to their scent, but to their essence. Go now, warrior, take this totem with you and use it at the location you found the stone axe. All right, so we'll go do that. I guess you can just go up there to the spirit guide. Let's see if that actually works. Or we can use the location and follow the wolf, if you guys want to do that. But it seems like if they're letting us go all the way to the spirit guide, and we could just skip that part. So I'm kind of just like on the fence about it. I don't really mind it, but I know it's going to create division in the vanilla community for the people that are playing the game. And you're always going to hear the like, oh, you guys have it so easy stuff, you know, like the You know, like when your grandpa was telling you, I used to walk, you know, like 10 feet worth of 10 feet of snow to get to school. You guys have it easy, you know what I mean? You're gonna hear stuff like that. You're gonna hear like, I remember when what it was like back in 2019 and all this stuff. It's gonna be kind of annoying. But they are right though. It is different. So here's the wolf spirit, guys. He's supposed to lead us to where we need to go. Ancestral spirit wolf lifts its head into the air as if listening for something. And I am going to be playing the game, guys. I'm going to be playing vanilla. It's just like the last time I played, it was just too much, man. I made a guild with my buddies and we went all the way to Nax and we were recruiting all the time. The amount of gold I had to farm to tank, it was ridiculous. I farmed like over like 30k gold. I leveled the mage to do that. Like, I'm just not going to go that hard this time around. I'm kind of just going to chill and enjoy myself. And if anything, I'll probably just join a guild and just sit back and watch the show instead of being like one of the main characters in the show. Because it's just it's a little much. It's a lot of work. It's almost like a full-time job almost, like having a guild like that, or at least a part-time. Getting 40 people together every week is tough, and then trying to be competitive on the server so you can actually attract players to come play for you is tough as well. Because if your guild is just not doing that well, then you just won't get players that are willing to, you know, play with you. Unless you have like 40 good friends that like each other and play with each other and just stick around because they enjoy each other's company. That's hard to find. Like, not a lot of people have 40 good friends like that. Maybe like 2 to 3 if you're lucky. And that's why we were kind of able to start the guild back then. We had like a good group of buddies. It was like 7 to 10 of us. And we just all gamed together, and we were able to get our guild off the ground that way. And then what we did is we started doing like pugs. So we would pug Molten Core, and then people would join our pug, and we'd have a good raid, and we'd be like, hey, if you want to join our guild, we do this, trying to build a guild, and then slowly get people, and they join the community, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And then you build a guild. But it's a lot of work, and I probably would never do it again. You can't do it by yourself. Anybody who's like, I'm going to build a guild, a 40-man guild by myself, you can't, unless you have like unlimited free time. It's too much work. You need other people that are willing to help you to, you know, recruit and raid lead and just organize and manage things. It's a lot of effort. This time around, I'm just going to be a DPS, I think, and just like enjoy the DPS life. I don't know if I'll play a warrior though. But if you want to get into a raid, if you're thinking about raiding, play a warrior. Because every guild will want to take you. Even if you're not good. Warriors are just that good in raids that people are willing to take really any type of warrior on. And like cross their fingers and hope they get better. Because you need like, I don't know, at least 25 plus warriors in a raid, it seems like.
What do you need?
There's a lot. You want a lot of warriors. You are welcome among us, warrior. At least for the time being.
Safe.
You're lucky to be alive.
For the Horde.
Who are you to walk in here unannounced? I ordered my men to stay their hand only because Raiga sensed that the spirits were with you. Speak freely, but choose your words wisely. We rarely trust strangers this close to the Citadel.
Strength.
This news you bring from beyond the Dark Portal? You want us to believe the son of Duratan ruled over the lands beyond it, free from any demonic taint, and that now his people have returned to this world? I hope for your sake that this isn't some manner of joke, warrior. That what this means to my people cannot be described. I must send word to Nagrand at once. Hellscream must hear about this. Take this letter back to your leader in Thralmar. Tell him the Magar welcome them.
Be safe.
Alright, so there we go. We are now allied with the Magar orcs. The orcs of Outland. Yeah, I'm into the changes. Especially the mailbox one, like the mail being delivered instantly is great to your alts or your bank alts, stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that. Dual spec, I'm fine with. It's going to be way more fun for just like the player who doesn't raid. Even raiders will enjoy it low key. Like mages are going to like, you know, being able to go fire when instead of having to go frost for entire raid, just because there's a couple bosses that, you know, have fire resist. It's good. And like warlocks and shadow priests are going to enjoy being able to play their class and being able to put up all their debuffs because it's not locked at 16 anymore. So there's a lot of positives. I think majority of the player base will like it. The problem is will more changes be coming in the future that are not good? That's what people are kind of scared of.
Go forth to victory.
What do you bring us, Pexlix?
May your blades
You're certain
never
of this?
dull.
This is big news, Pexlix. These orcs can surely help our cause both here and at home. And so we got some plate legs here. Nothing really for us. Yeah. So we'll just take the item that sells for the most. It seems like it's these plate legs.
We will
For the
persevere.
horde.
Alright, so there we go. Did that little question. This will head south. Spinebreaker Post. And we will start questing down over there. Already almost level 61. And I wonder if we get a new dungeon if we do that. If we do, then I'll probably requeue. And like even the vanilla game of 2019 wasn't even like the original vanilla. Like I think it was the final patch that we were on. Even during Molten Core, because the debuff limit actually used to be only 8. And that was in Molten Core and BWL. And then when patch 1.7 came out and they released Silver Up, they increased the debuff limit to 16. So the people back in 2004 that did all the stuff could be like, you know, we had way less of a debuff limit than you guys. Right? So it's the game, like 2019 had changes as well. It's just that these changes now in 2024 are pretty damn big. Like no limit on buffs and debuffs. That really does change the game.
That better be good.
But I think it's positive. We'll see. We'll see, right? Who knows? Welcome to Spinebreaker Post. How might my talents serve you? A blood test, is it? It will be my pleasure. I always enjoy working with blood.
Victory for Sylvanas.
Please excuse me while I begin my tests.
Goodbye.
That last experiment... Oh, interesting. But what is this? Oh, a bunch of beetles. Can we fight them? I don't think they give us,
Trust no one.
they don't give us any XP though. Pretty sure. Oh, damn it, they all died. Or I can spread,
I am forsaken.
spread my rend on all of them.
Our time will
That last
come.
experiment was not a complete loss. I did save a small bit of blood you brought me. Now boiled down. It should be free of whatever curses the Bleeding Hollow witches placed on their people's hot blood. I need more for study. Go gather Bleeding Hollow blood from the orcs in Zethgor. When you've gathered the blood, bring it to their cursed cauldron and boil it. Bring me the boiled blood.
Patience. Discipline.
Makra.
I've managed to work myself into quite a spot here. Farseer Regalkut tried to warn me, but my carelessness has finally caught up with me. I came down here to study
May
the
your
ruins
blades never dull. Speak, friend.
of Zethgor, but ran afoul of the Legion on my way. Now all I have to show for it is a nasty gash on my leg.
Strength.
Just as Zethgor came into view, a Legion patrol caught sight of me. I ran, hoping to duck into one of the towers in the distance. But one of their fellhounds caught up with me and nearly hamstrung me. I managed to escape, but my leg is in terrible shape. Stoneguard Amberlin found me and brought me here. Now I have to find a way to tend to my leg. Spine leaf grows in and around the Valley of Bones to the north. A salve made from it will dull the pain enough for me to travel. And so we gotta collect some salves.
How may I aid you?
What else we got here? Make them
I am
listen.
forsaken.
I was sent here. Actually, we'll just do a couple. We probably won't go over there just yet.
Our enemies.
The warp rifts. Yeah, we'll save on. We'll save those for later, guys. We'll just do these quests for now. Maybe I'll pick up this one. Wanted Wargmaster Krush. The poster reads: Wargmaster Krush leads the Warg Riders of the Bleeding Hollow clan. A price has been placed on his head for his riders' activity. Exact heavy tolls on supply trains to Spinebreaker Post. Scouts report him within Zethgor, and the hero able to bring the severed head of the villain to me will earn the thanks of the Horde and a large bounty. Captain Darkow. And so there we go. That should be enough. It's a few quests right there. We'll keep an eye out for all the stuff we have to pick up off the ground. Gotta get some blood off of these Bleeding Hollow orcs. And that's the server I'm actually on now, which is Bleeding Hollow, which is hilarious. So we have Shattered Hand Orcs here, which was the first server I played on. And then the server I transferred to off from Shattered Hand, Bleeding Hollow, are these other other orcs. I went to Bleeding Hollow because, well, Shattered Hand was dying, and it had a good faction balance between Horde and Alliance. And there was like a world PvP community there that I thought was cool and fun at that time. They had like YouTube videos that came up, and it was kind of like WWE style trash talk, and it was fun, man. Had like an RP element to it. I really liked Bleeding Hollow was an awesome server back then. It's not the same as it was back in, Cataclysm and Mist of Pandaria, but still pretty cool. And they're scroll of agility, nice. And these scrolls, guys, that's another thing. Like, tanks are going to be getting all the scrolls. Probably not the intellect ones, but like an armor scroll, agi scroll, strength scroll, all the scrolls. They will, like, you're going to make sure you get them all. And that's going to be annoying. So that means the price of scrolls are going to go up, like, quite a bit. Because people will be buying them. gonna be interesting. It's a different game. It's not like drastically different, but it is different. We have to go to this and we gotta get 12 boiled blood. Nice, we got a Q pop. Trying to deal with these wargs here. Oh, damn it. Was hoping I'd have like a little bit of time, but we killed them all, but we didn't. I should have waited a little bit longer. But maybe we'd have missed the queue, and it's not worth it. And they're also changing group find. They're actually adding group finder, I believe, to the game, or looking for group tool. Because vanilla never had one, so they're adding that. I don't know what people think about that. It does kind of change the social dynamic, I guess, of vanilla. Like, you don't look in chats anymore to find people for group. You use group finder now. I don't really mind that, because I did use, you would use an add-on, right? I see level 61. You use an add-on to find groups anyways, called Looking for Group Bulletin Board. And what that did was it was an add-on that would organize Looking for Group chat. So you can find people that that wanted to do the dungeon that you wanted to do a little bit faster than like having to look through spam, which is kind of a headache, so. Group finder does help with that. I don't know how drastically it changes like how we socialize in the game. Because in group, I think looking for group tool, like I can just click that I want to join, right? And then I get in or something like that. I'm not too sure how it works. But it's not like we're getting a random dungeon finder. Now, if they did that, that would be too much for me. But I think it's not bad at all, right? Not that big of a deal. Just another quality of life feature. And you just don't have to get an add-on to deal with chat anymore. But this is what, people are talking about, right? The small changes that slowly happen as the game goes on.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
Heal me! Quickly!
Light touch breastplate. 25 stamina, 38 intellect. Breastplate, 12 crits. It's like a paladin. It's stun there and stuff. Deal with that guy. Yeah, I'm still excited. I still have, hype for for the game. In the fresh release, and I'm hyped up to see like what it's going to be like with all these changes. Because I might level multiple characters, or I'll probably have at least one ult. That might be a warrior. I'm going to be tempted to not make a warrior because they're just so damn good. But I do want to play a different class this time around, so I don't really want to play a warrior, but it's hard not to because they're just so damn good in vanilla. And it makes finding a guild pretty damn easy. If you're a warrior, people are begging to have you in their guild. If they're not like, you know, a top 5 guild on the server and they're already full. A lot of guilds are always looking for warriors. I know we were. Like, we didn't even have as many warriors as we wanted to have. We were always looking for warriors. And I assume, like, you know, many other guilds will be that way as well during, you know, this fresh launch. I think Mage would be a lot of fun too because of the dual spec. I actually kind of think that's cool. Being able to like switch specs based on like the boss you're fighting. I actually think that'll be like fun to try. I know classic purists like hate that. But it is what it is, right? And the thing is, if you don't like it, there is classic era, and I don't think they'll ever change that. Unless people just love the changes that they made to the anniversary servers, then maybe they actually will change. Yeah, maybe they actually will change, you know, classic era, which would be, that would be, I think a lot of people wouldn't like that. But at least they have the option to play that. But it is kind of sad because they were all kind of hoping that they would get, you know, like 2019, the 2019 version of Classic again. But that is not happening. Tenacious Defender dropped. Plate Belt. It's probably an upgrade. 15 strength, 14 agility, 19 stamina with 2 sockets. We're gonna lose 13 hit rating. I guess we'll take it. I don't know if I'm gonna put gems in these sockets though, since we're probably replacing these pretty damn quick. But guess what? We didn't win it though. DK did. So we don't have to worry about that. Keeping the hit rating.
Challenges. Pity they were all in vain. Soon your people will kneel to my lord.
He probably just comes in and attacks me right away. And I didn't even.
Nothing. I answer a higher call. My lord will be the end.
Just knows I'm the tank. Probably because I pulled the boss, started the event. You're getting hit pretty hard. Gotta get out of this. Another one bites of dust. Mock the Thal clan ring drop, 72 armor, 16 SAM, 14 resilience. Decent PvP ring there. You won't be PvPing because it seems like it's almost impossible to get into a battleground while you're leveling up. Kilt of Rolling Thunders dropped. 426 armor, legs, 42 stamina, 14 intellect, 13 spirit. Not bad. Well, guys, that's going to be the end of today's episode. Next episode, we're going to continue questing in Hellfire Peninsula. I just want to see if we've unlocked any new dungeons. We've unlocked Ramparts, guys. Or, I mean, Blood Furnace. Someone in our group isn't high enough level, but we're high enough level now for Blood Furnace, so we'll try to get into that. And let's see how our gear's looking. Not bad. We got that Blade Fist Breath trinket. That was a nice upgrade. Our gear's changed quite a bit. You have a lot of TBC gear now, new chest. Like all these greens are from TBC. And our item level is currently at 65.88. Yeah, new weapons, new shield, new trinkets. We're going to be replacing a lot of this gear when we start doing, these dungeons. But that is going to be the end of today's episode, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Keep your heads up. Later.